Hi, we are back with YMCA 2025 tournament coverage, and is the finals. So in the finals, Lordesfairgenug and Karl M met each other again. So the champion of 2024 met the vice champion of 2024 also, and they are again in the finals. And they're playing it out here in the winner bracket. They have already fought against each other, and Lordesfairgenug could win this. So now we have seen a crazy strategy by Karl M in the finals of the loser bracket, and let's just hop into it. We'll see if he does this crazy stuff again. So Zonwurst is playing GDI. He's playing Talon on Rügenwalder. Very interesting. And he's doing it again, I guess. He's playing Not, which is very unlikely for him, but he's going for this crazy strategy where he builds a temple, gets the upgrade on the Harpy. We have already seen this in the match before. But Lordesfairgenug doesn't know this at this point. So he's playing here. He has not seen the match where Karl M played against gegen Team Mighty. So he's getting some infantry, he's going for the scout, and he is already producing Harpies. It's very clear that he will do this. Okay, he realized he needs the comm center, he cannot sell. No, he sold it, so he gets more refineries instantly. And now he's building more of the helipads, and I guess we will see the Harpies soon. There's no point in queuing the Harpies right away, because the second one already halves the production time for the Harpies, and the third one makes it a third, and now a quarter if he gets the fourth one, and so on the fifth. So now it makes sense to build the Harpies because they come out very fast, and that's what he's doing now. He's getting ready for the Harpy flyby rush, something that was impressive against Team Mighty, and it will be impressive against Lordesfairgenug, who's called Zonwurst here, I'm pretty sure. He's absolutely not expecting this. He's getting some LRS, which are like nice units that are really useful in many situations. They're quite good against air, but the Harpies are also good against them. So they have 160 hit points. These guys have 240, so a lot more hit points. They are both lightly armored. Of course, the missiles, I think the damage might be misleading here, of damage per second 5. I guess it's not factoring in the damage correctly. Because MRS are definitely doing a lot more damage. So he's going straight for the Cognac, why not? No, he's going for the refineries. Oh, he already has an AA gun. So somehow he must have known what's coming, but we'll see if this proves sufficient. He goes for the radar, which is a crucial building. He cannot build anti-air towers anymore without the radar. His energy is down, and I think he's done. That's it. That's a victory for Karl M. I don't think he can stop this. There's no way. He builds an Orca, which is nice, but it's just one single Orca, and all his buildings will be down before the Orca takes down the Harpies. Yeah, and Zonwurst calls the GG. Now he knows what's coming. Just to set this into perspective, we have this is the first match of the finals, but Karl M is coming from the loser bracket. So if he wins the matchup against Lordesfairgenug, then they get into a second final because it's double elimination, and Lordesfairgenug must lose like 2 matchups. That's how it goes in the double elimination. I think this game is only 57 seconds long because the position is incorrect. So that's the real second match. Let's go for it. And we'll see how Lordesfairgenug can adapt to this new crazy strategy. Let's just stay with the Not player down here so we can see what's going on with his strategy one more time. So the basic idea of this crazy strategy is that we get the command center, we get a helipad, and we get a Temple of Nod. And the Temple of Nod will then unlock the Harpy Flyby upgrade. But you don't need the temple. So he has the upgrade now. You don't need the temple to build those guys. So now he gets some better power plants. He's really optimized the whole strategy because he sold his base power plant to replace it with a better one. He sells the radar station to get more refineries now. This is such a crazy build order. And then they sells the guys again, and I think he gets one more final command center. Communication center. No, he does not. Interesting. He gets weapons factories, because why not? Okay, interesting. So there goes the command center. And I think now he's at the normal production speed. He realized he got one weapons factory too much, sold it again. He's going for the scout. I mean, he knows now what's coming, so he should definitely get prepared for this shit. If he gets rushed and surprised by the air units again, I don't know. Then he's a bad player, but somehow he's in the finals of the tournament. There's already the Harpies being pumped out. It's crazy. It's a crazy strategy. It's a unit that's not supposed to be that early available without screwing up your whole economy. He has the harvesters. He's able to produce. And that strategy is so OP, we had to change the rules of the game. Bing, 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 new rules, you know. So that you can no longer sell like everything and build something else, and then your early build-up boost will no longer be there. It will be gone when you sell your buildings and build other stuff. Once you have built 10, it's over. That's how it works in the new patch that's already out. Fixes some other things, but balance-wise, this is like the big fix. So Scout arrives here. He definitely knows now Harpies are coming your way. Get ready, man. And he's getting ready. He builds MLRS. He has AA gun. Maybe not the best positioning. Oh, there's also an AA gun back here. So I don't know. This should be easy to defend a few Harpies. Should absolutely work here. He's not going for infantry. He's just going for MLRS. One has to keep in mind the MLRS are squishy. They die really fast, but his eco is a lot better, I guess. Let's look at the earnings graph. Yes, his eco is much bigger, so he can afford more shit. He's coming from the side. Okay, why not? He's even playing aggressively. Wow. But that might be a big mistake. Okay, now the Harpies take damage. Power's out. So screw these AA guns. You have to rely on the MLRS now. Of course you lose the communication center. Why not? I hope he's producing power now. Yes, he is doing that. But he cannot build the advanced power plants because his communication center was taken down. I think this attack was not really a success. It was okay. It slowed him down. It was annoying. Communication center will take a lot of time to rebuild. Now he's wasting his Harpies. Maybe not. They just take out all the MLRS. They should actually be good against each other, but the Harpies are good against the MLRS. I think that will make Lordesfairgenug really sweaty at this point. He just realized the MLRS are not going to help me. It's not the unit I have to build here. I need something that can take out the Harpies reliably, and MLRS is not the unit. He's getting Orcas now, so that's a proper answer. That's the right unit. It can shoot on air. The Harpies cannot shoot on air, so this should solve it and should seal the deal. But it's one Orca. We're speaking one Orca. And the Orca is even going the wrong direction. What is he doing? This is crazy. He can absolutely not afford to leave his base. He needs to defend that base. But maybe he's like, he does not have anything. He's just building Harpies. If I get to his base, I will win this. And the power is out again. It's horrible. He's just dealing so much damage to all these buildings. It is crazy. The Orcas are doing a good job, but it's just one. So I should not say the Orcas. It's just one Orca. So here, the Harpies are lining up for the next attack, but these Harpies already do so much damage. This is not looking good. is looking absolutely horrible. I think he now understands what it takes to stop the harpies. It's air units. You don't stop them with light armored ground units. Maybe heavy armored. Maybe should have tried the APC Vulcan or whatever. He's back on power. That's really nice for him. But a next push, I'm not so sure if he can survive that. Now his power plants are on the wrong side of the anti-air guns. What a horrible situation to be in. You're sitting in your base. Actually, you know what's coming. You are prepared, but it is not correct. It's not enough. It's not the correct solution. He should have gone for Orcas a lot faster. That would have made sense. Oh my god. Power was back up for a short moment. It's over. It's over for Lordesfairgenug. He has lost so many crucial buildings. It's so expensive. 2 Orcas are shooting on the pilots. That's a super bad idea. But I guess he's just panic mode. Yeah, somehow he defended it, but he does not even have a refinery. I'm not so sure if you even look at the earnings. It should go to 0 for teal player until like the next harvester comes in. There comes the next big chunk of harpies, and I am not so sure if he can. He's going for the power plants again, but takes heavy and horrible losses. So this time the defense was great. It was really good. Will Lordesfairgenug be able to come back from this? I can't imagine it. I really can't imagine how he can recover in this game. So Karl M is totally neglecting his economy. His harvester have to travel an insane distance. The army craft says they are both at a similar level. The harpies are worth a bit more, and he loses again the comm center. These guys are so mobile and so deadly for lightly armored buildings. The Orcas just take too long to take them down. It's insane. It's just insane. I would say this is over now for you. What do the cash reserves say? Okay, he still has 9,000 cash, so he can get a refinery back up. But as long as this stuff just keeps going like it's going, there's no chance. He's going for light tanks. Light tanks are not the best decision. If he gets more Orcas, then light tanks can't really do anything. But I think he's so done. He has like a lot of construction yards, but not even power. And there's more harpies and more tanks coming, and I think that will be over soon. It's crazy how long the guy can hold out. Both have destroyed exactly the same amount of value of the enemy army. But it's like his whole base is not able to produce anything that defends him. He's for sure expecting more harpies. He's not expecting tanks, so now tanks will come and it will be horrible. Sure, the Orcas can take care of the tanks, but until they have done that, the losses already have been there. Oh, but the Orcas not too bad. The Orcas, so the harpies come from the other side, but here the AA guns also doing a good job. We see a power suit. This is completely wrong answer. It's a light armored tank that's bad against heavy, so won't do much against the light tanks, even though they are not the best tanks. But they are cheap and do the job good. Oh, can the AA guns stop him? Oh, he's still back with power. So the Orcas will take care of the tanks, but he needs to take care of the flamethrower. This guy, he is devastating for him. Oh my god. Okay, he finally defeated him again in this fight. But his cash is gone and they have to travel a lot. And he cannot really afford to sell any of the buildings to speed up this process because he needs all of them. He needs anti-air guns. I think he needs money fast. He really needs money fast. These harvesters need to get back to the job. I don't know who will win this. It's an insanely intense match. It still looks like Lordesfairgenug can get back on his feet here. But he has now realized I need to get some refineries forward. My production is halting. Something must happen. The army craft of Karl M is a lot higher. The earnings are still horrible for Lordesfairgenug. So I think Karl M does a similar push. Now has Recon bikes unupgraded. I'm not so sure. I guess they are thought as counters for the Orcas. But there's just not much he has. It's just such a tiny army. The AA gun is great here. Another one would also be good. I'm not so sure if he will just fly over or try to take care of the army first. He realizes, oh my god, no. I'm not going into this. I'm not going to lose my army in this next attempt to wipe him from the game. Or he's just collecting more and more stuff. Maybe that's the right decision. I'm not so sure. Rocket infantry is a good decision. There's no real counter to these guys. The Harpies can do a lot of damage to them, but still rocket troopers are good here. So the Harpies are coming. He has 2 AA guns, that's great. But they're just flying around and kill everything on the ground, and everything is just insane. So now the Recon bikes can just take out the Orcas, and that is the GG, I think. I cannot see how Lordesfairgenug can defend this attack. I don't think that's possible at this point. He's losing his last MLRS and the guys are in the middle of his base. He can get more MLRS against the Recon bikes for sure. But also this fight is over. He could have spent his cash a bit faster, get a bit more infantry, but he's really lacking the production facilities. So at this point the anti-air gun, the second one, is going down, so the Harpies can come back in, and they will. He's really trying to get back up, but that's not possible, I think, in this case. Yeah, the light tanks, they tank enough damage, so it gets nasty. He's really using his Harpies without any reason. Wow. This is unbelievable. Don't tell me he defended this another time. That's so crazy. This is absolutely crazy. But now his harvesters are down to 5. He had a lot more when the fight started. He lost so many of them. The earnings have been bigger in the last minutes. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Is he getting back on his feet? Is he going to win this game finally? This is unbelievable. So Karl M just reacts like, I don't care. I will just get my guys at the front line. I will harvest everywhere. But he's currently not producing much of units. But he has 18,000 cash, so he could produce stuff. I'm not so sure what he's doing actually. It's super dangerous for him to give Lordesfairgenug time to recover, time to build up again. Should absolutely not do that. This is unbelievable. He's not building units. Lordesfairgenug is completely out of money. And Karl M just has an obelisk ready and is building a few buildings. He has 27,000 cash. He's not spending it. Could this mess break his neck? Maybe he's sitting there and is scratching his head and like, should I get more Harpies? Or maybe should I adapt? I don't know. It's a super stupid idea here. He's sending an engineer over there. That's super funny. But he should definitely not give so much time to Lordesfairgenug. But he's doing that. Okay, now he's going for Scorpion tanks. The decision has been made. Money's being spent on new stuff. He's going to take out the remaining Harpies, no, he's not. Scorpion tanks are great against heavy tanks. They are bad against everything else. So if he had decided to get some Orcas, which would have been the right decision here in this matchup, I think, he could stop the Scorpion tank with the Orcas, but he did not. Rather, he just got some MLRS and infantry. Infantry is also great against the Scorpion tanks. I think there's no need to retreat here. He could easily fight this army, but he's maybe afraid of Harpies just coming around the corner and taking out the army that's leaving the base too much. I think it's the right decision here. He should just sit it out in the base with AA guns, because AA guns are insanely good against the Harpies as long as they can fire. In this case, going at the Scorpion tanks with infantry is also not a bad decision. He should definitely do that. At this point he should realize, oh my god, I need more barracks. But maybe he's just realizing, oh my god, how many Scorpion tanks can one player build. He's building more barracks, so he totally understood what's going on, what the time is. It's time for insane amount of rocket mercenaries. Actually a good counter against Scorpion tanks. It would also make a lot of sense to get air units, but he does not have any helipads, so that is not available. The flame tanks will be a really big problem for the rocket mercenaries. It's a great switch, it's the right decision. Get flame tanks, they have PDL. So this, I mean, I already called that the game is over for Lordesfairgenug. I think it's now over for real, but I'm not so sure. Maybe he can get out of this crazy mess another time. But the flames are really eating through his base here. It's looking absolutely horrible for Lordesfairgenug. His buildings are burnt down in seconds. Okay, I think that's it. This time it's over for real. He's building battle tanks. They're completely useless against Scorpion tanks. Completely useless because the flame tanks have PDL. I think he has now found the answer. It's more high-tech units, more adapted to his army. It's something that Lordesfairgenug cannot stop at this point. It's over. The reinforcements are coming in. They make the army even bigger, and it's all more horrible. Karl M still has 36,000 cash, so he can produce a crap load of these units, and I guess he will do that. He's out of power now again, so I think that's the nail in the coffin. He cannot get out of this situation, I think, anymore. No power, slower production. He's struggling and trying to survive, but I think at this point it's just over for him. Battle tanks are a desperate answer, and he gives up. Wow, what a match. Insane. Absolutely insane. So this means the first matchup of Lordesfairgenug versus Karl M is being won by Karl M. Really great, strong, inventive strategy. Lordesfairgenug really tried to survive here. Karl M was like chilling too much, but the advantage of the superior strategy and the awesome build order was enough to win this game. Wow. So this means there is a second final. Now Lordesfairgenug playing as Sonnenwurst has lost one matchup, so both are now single eliminated, and this is double elimination. So the next matchup of between the two is the real finals, or the second finals. And
battle control initialized.
I hope the games will be as interesting and as tense as the game we have just seen, because this was one of the best matches of the tournament. I think there were another one, two others that were also really good and really awesome to watch. But we'll see what the second final brings. So I think, yes. So here are some replays of Zonenwurst against AI. I guess he's trying out the crazy stuff. So between the two matchups there's a short break, and this I think is the first game. I think it's the map pick of Karl M, which is crazy, I think, but let's go. So Karl M picks a really small map. That means the Harpies can be there very early, but it also means ground units can be there very early. So Zonenwurst has picked Eagle. That's very interesting. Eagle is also GDI, the faction which did not really help him. The MRS were really squishy. I'm not so sure, but Eagle is the air faction of GDI, so I guess he learned that Orcas are the way to go and will now use Orcas. But we'll see. So yeah, he's doing now the same shit. We see this build order. We have a command center, we have the power plant, we have a helipad, and we see the production of Orca V2 Swarm. So Orca V2 Swarm is an upgraded Orca. He sold the tech center again. He's not playing it in this exact same way as Karl M is doing it, because he has a lot less cell shenanigans going on. But this time he got the Temple Prime, so he even brought this strategy to the limit. Insane. So he just thought, no, tech center, Temple of Nod is the tech center of Nod. It's not enough for me. I want to cheese even more and get like the absolutely latest tech building, the Temple Prime, which gives him Cyborg Infantry. Cyborg Infantry is at least double as good as normal infantry. It's really, really good. A lot of value for money. Insane idea on this really small bag to abuse, small map, to abuse the tech build boost gambit, or whatever you call this crazy strategy of this tournament. That Karl M was so crazy to save the strategy until the very end, so that Lordesfairgenug cannot prepare for the strategy. He cannot, because this is what happened in the last tournament. If we go back, okay, he has now decided, you go these crazy air units, it's not a problem. I go the crazy air units. I just do the same shit you do, but with Orca V2 Swarm units, because these guys are really good against the Harpies. They are really good against infantry. They are also good against buildings. Of course, they're not such a fast and mobile, devastating force like the Harpies, but still, they are more versatile since they can shoot on air. And that's, I think, here the right way to go. So, coming back to the story about like last year in the tournament, Karl M found this interlopers without anti-air upgrade. Just interlopers with a normal attack were really good against tanks. So they should have a laser that's good against infantry, but actually had a laser that's like good against most units, not really with any weaknesses. That was a flaw. This was a bug, or like not intended, because the unit said it's good against infantry, but actually it was not good against infantry. It was okay against infantry, but it was rather good against tanks. So cool, all the missiles are missing here. So he's just building basic infantry with like medics, which also do a great job. And he's taking out the buildings with the Orca V2 Swarmers. Many missiles are not really hitting, so it takes a lot longer to kill the buildings. But I think the combination of infantry with the Swarmer Orcas is a great answer to the infantry being built by Karl M. The EMP might not be really useful. He has to be a bit careful so he doesn't lose the Swarmers against the missiles. So in this case I think it's over and is one for Lordesfairgenug. Strong comeback. Now he has all the cards to win this World Championship. So the last year Karl M revealed the strategy with the interlopers really early and used it in the tournament. That's how he won in the winner bracket, and Lordesfairgenug was thrown in the loser bracket. So at the point when they met again in the winner bracket, Lordesfairgenug was able to train and try out a lot of counter strategies with Simon Peter Pan, who was also in the tournament going really strong and took the 3rd place. So that's, I guess, why Karl M decided, no, I will not show this strategy. I will not use this crazy tech build-up gambit where you sell all your buildings after you got some funny upgrades. This time he tried it with a Temple Prime, a really good idea, but unfortunately Lordesfairgenug had a perfect answer to this. Infantry with medics and Orca Swarmers with the missiles. So Tune Patrol was a horrible map pick here in this case, because Zonwurst's Lordesfairgenug's counter strategy worked very well. So now Karl M, I guess he picked this map, or I don't know, maybe they agreed on this map. I'm not so sure. That maybe Tune Patrol was the pick of Lordesfairgenug. So this year, 2025, Karl M was so crazy, he just decided, well, I don't care. I just wait until the very finals and then I will show the strategy. Against Temaiti, he already used the strategy. First with just normal harpies, and then even with the flyby harpies, actually a spoiler of what he was going to do in the finals. But Lordesfairgenug did not see it, and Temaiti did not go over and tell him, hey, that's what's coming, it's super unfair, you should prepare. So it was a bit risky, I think, but overall Karl M's strategy worked out, and he easily won the first match. And now both know what's coming. I guess they have just decided, whatever, let's play a crazy match on two sides. And I am not so sure. I think two sides is a bit of a crazy idea. I'm not so sure what the plan of Lordesfairgenug is. I hope he's not thinking, oh, I don't care, I can win this easy in the late game, because he cannot. There's just no chance. I think there's just a few factions that can actually win against Gridden Airblob on this map. So Zonwurst should definitely not track this out into the late game. That would break his neck. Both take the slow route. There's a scout here. Oh no, there comes a rush. Here we see a rush. There's also a Yui in the mix, because why not? IFV, so he's completely expecting air already at this point. Here we have a prism cannon that's, I think, great against the Chandler tanks. It's a perfect answer. At this point, I think if he just keeps pushing and pressing, it will be horrible for the scrim player, Karl M, and it looks really bad. There's already assault carriers coming out, so he's going for the crazy air madness. So maybe the IFVs were not the worst decision here. Maybe not too bad to get these guys. But I think he's already producing enough shit to stop this rush. It's a very small rush, I have to agree. It's not something that's like totally crazy. He's already building up a huge base. But he cannot really reach through. So Scrim player is now able to build his stuff. He's getting Eurocopters. That's a good decision, I think. He's expanding to the other ore patch. Of course, he has to do it. It's time for that. He has already base scrolled to there, which is, I think, the right decision. So he's going for another push. He has many more prism cannons now. He has Eurocopters. Yeah, I think it's a good composition. It's a good answer to what's standing here. I'm not so sure if the air units might not be a problem. Don't know how the Eurocopters perform. On paper, they should be quite okay. But in the reality, the missiles might just fly around and not really hit the real targets. And the planetary assault carrier, often underestimated. So the scout is missing. This is really bad, but still okay. He can take out the tank from distance, which is easy peasy. The Storm Riders are coming. The Eurocopters are doing a good job at fending them off. So this is looking good. It's looking very good here. I don't know if the planetary assault carriers can take out the Eurocopters, but the ground units are definitely taken out by the prism cannons. He has to retreat here because all the Eurocopters are done. That's absolutely unfortunate. I don't know how many prism cannons he will lose on the retreat. The infantry is doing a great job stopping the tanks. Okay, they're now on the back foot. It's horrible. But it's not over. It's not lost. He definitely needs to get other units now. It's already clear the air units of the scrim player are getting dangerous for allies. It's really hard. He needs to get the Eurofighters, which are the superior air superiority fighter for the allies. That's usually the answer, but it's a problematic answer because if he gets point defense lasers on ground, then the Eurofighters cannot really win it. So I think the window is closing because he's getting so much air units, but he needs to push, he needs to pressure him. If he doesn't pressure him, he's going to lose that. I think he will totally regret taking allies if he doesn't win this game soon. So Karl M has a crazy air armada, he has devastated warships, and they were the Eurofighters and they did not do much. I think he's now in real big trouble. Eurofighters have been changed a little bit before the tournament. Their splash was reduced, but not significantly. The missiles became faster, so the base idea was to make the Eurofighter better for beginner players who really have problem correctly controlling the guys. Now there's also crew launchers in the mix. I don't know if he has a lot of point defense laser. I think not. Not at all. So as long as he does not have point defense laser underneath, I think he can win this. It's possible. Where are the medics? There are no medics. This is crazy. He's building so many of the crew rocket soldier. Good decision, but he should also have medics in the mix. Then the rocket soldiers can actually win, but it's not easy. The planetary assault carriers, they are dangerous. Also bastions are in the mix. Bastions are problematic for the infantry. The laser reaches far and deals a lot of damage. He's going with an airstrike, nice. But I don't think it's gonna do much, because they just downed instantly, yes. So that's a big problem, because the carrier interceptors are really strong. The Eurofighters go for another round. They try to take out a few of them. The colony ships in the front, I don't know what their purpose is. They take out one by trade 1 for 1. It's really hard now to win this. They could not take out this guy. And they take out another guy. If he keeps doing this, might work. We'll see. But now he lost 3 trade for 1. That's not worth it. I think the Eurofighters in the hand of good player have become a lot weaker by the tournament with the changes. So this fight should actually be won by the Eurofighters, but it's not. There's also Storm Rider here, which is doing a great job at stopping the guys. Or not stopping, but annoying. So we'll see what the next push brings. But I think Lordesfairgenug is not doing himself a favor here by dragging out the game so long and letting big armies build up, because we all know these screen armies get really strong when they are really big. Now he has also Auroras in the mix. It's not a bad idea, but then he realizes he is already building coastal air defense. So this is already a late game base with a lot of oil derricks. I don't know if Lordesfairgenug has also oil derricks. He has, but it's a bit less. So if we look at the earnings, Karl M's earnings have dropped a lot, even though he still has like quite some fields. The army value says both are very similar. Sonwurst is a little bit ahead, but I think he has like a more mobile and more adaptive army that's not useful here at all. Against the carriers, it's really problematic with allies. The infantry, I'm not so sure if the infantry can land enough damage here. The army craft is saying insane big armies of value over 300,000 now. The Auroras should land their damage and bring home some value. So he's going for the go, yeah. Why not? Why not? The first attack of the Aurora, the first 2 Auroras were good. The second 2 were not good. We'll see a horrible push here with infantry being shredded by the artillery shrimps. There's no point defense laser. This is a massacre. There is not much he can do. The Eurofighters are okay, but they are no longer as good as they were in the past. The decreased splash damage is something that makes this matchup really hard. There's not much he can do. Screen Air Blob is against allies now even stronger. That's why after the tournament the Eurofighter has been tuned back to the old values mostly. It's a big problem. The Screen Air Armada, stop it with with allies is not easy, but he also needs point defense laser. Now I think he also has medics. It's a good adjustment. Will it change the outcome of the game? We don't know, but we will see. Karl M is just building more of the crazy stuff. Why not? That's going to make him win. From my experience, there's no way you can stop this with allies at this point. I think he tried to rush it. He tried to put pressure on him, but he failed. So now he's trying to somehow change the outcome of the game with the Eurofighters, but it's not going to work, I think. The cryo launcher should actually be good because he has no point defense laser in the mix. So here we see how really bad the Eurofighters are. They're actually an anti-air unit, but they just get mowed down. It doesn't really help. And all you have to do as a screen is keep your army together and have your DPS concentrated. Yeah, there's another try of the same stuff. So I'm not so sure. He's going for another push. He still doesn't have point defense laser in the mix. That's how you lose matches. It's how you lose such a fight. Your infantry can only survive if you have point defense laser. Otherwise, the shrimps will make short process of your infantry. So he takes out... He doesn't even take... Oh, he takes out one at least. So without the splash damage, it's a totally different game. You cannot just shoot the missiles in and then get a lot of value out. It's really, really hard to trade equally. If you do shit, you just lose Eurofighters. If you do good, you kill one. The splash damage is crucial. It's gone. And the ally player is not really winning the trades. In air it's looking a little bit better for him, on ground it looks horrible. We'll see how the army values evolve over the next minute. I think it's a great fight. Now he loses the satellite, that's why he decided to go back. He's just like, no, I don't have vision anymore. I want just to fight when I have the maximum advantage. We don't need to fight now, bye bye. But if we look at the army values, it did not really change a lot. They mostly replaced what they lost. Spectator is disconnected because why not? The cannons are going forward again, they are lost instantly. What he really needs is some point defense laser also at the front, then he could win this. But with this army he is about to lose. Now the Eurofighters are a really, really big threat. But the problem is they all shoot at the same target, and without the splash damage, I keep repeating myself. There's not much he can do. I think there's now point defense laser also. Yes, I think the point defense laser tower. We already see a big drop in the army. The Eurofighters cannot trade equally against air armada. That's a problem. That means he cannot win this game. He needs to change his army composition completely or he is lost, because what he has is not the right answer to this armada in the air. So let's speed it up a little bit. I think he's mostly hating himself now for not picking Nod and getting awesome rocket infantry that has more HP and has better rockets. And also having the SSM launcher with the long range and the splitting missiles, so you can break through PL. Now he's flying through the air, through the whole blob with the Eurofighters. He's going in a full-in assault. But again, the trade is bad. He loses more than the other player. Eurofighters at the current state, at the state of the tournament, are not capable of handling air units from Scrin if they are properly played. So now the Eurofighters, they come again. Screen player just keeps pushing. He knows what he's doing. He just brings in some new units on the ground also. Now the guys have PDL, which I think is devastating for the allied player, because now the crew launcher also are rendered useless and more missiles of the Eurofighters will be stopped. I think he can absolutely not do anything against this. We will see if he at one point realizes he also needs some point defense laser. But I think the losses have compounded. Scrin air blob keeps growing and growing. There's nothing he can do. He learned the hard way that the Eurofighters are no longer a useful unit against air. Well, no, that's like a crazy statement, but against like this Scrin air blob, they are not really strong enough to trade equally. So the earnings are similar, but the army of Scrin is a lot stronger here. I don't think there's any way the allied player can win this. Maybe with some scout tanks with PDL, he would be able to deliver the Creo rocket soldiers to let them shoot missiles. But overall, I think he failed the rush and now he bites the dust. I think he can give up already. He's still trying and he's fighting and he's like, no man, I'm not giving up. I will try to get the value of my Eurofighters. But if we look at the army values, the Eurofighters cannot trade equally. I think that's a crucial part of this game. He should realize the Eurofighters are not the solution. The carriers just mow through. What a crazy match. That's like the essence of you must construct additional, because he just constructed additional and he really built a lot of the flying shrimps. That's the way to go. Lordesfairgenug is still not giving up, but it's absolutely time to... Okay, now he's given up. That was the right time. So this is 1-1. So this is really crazy because we will have a final match. There was no way the finals could go longer now. And I am curious how it will unfold. So this is what we have seen. Minor Pressure is the default of this tournament for the finals, the default map, being randomly selected by the tournament system. So both players don't play this map very often, but they have already played this map, especially also against each other. I'm curious to see what we'll see in this final match. I don't think we will see some crazy Scrin late game air stuff, because this map is open. You can come from the back, you can push through the middle. There's some funny oil directs on the lower left part that's not so important. And this is pretty clear. Scrin player is going for a base crawl rush, I guess. Most likely with tanks. Why not? And here we have seen again the funny strategy where you go for like the air units. So I guess he's going for the Swarmer again since he's Eagle. Maybe not a bad answer. Maybe even not necessary, because normal Orcas would also work, as we have seen in the game of Pretzel. Just the Orcas with the fire rate, not even from Eagle, but from any GDI faction, are already enough to make a lot of trouble for a Scrin player. Maybe we don't need to slow this down now anymore. And a rush from Scrin is also not the strongest type of rush, but it offers a lot of options and you can build good units against infantry like the Corruptor. The tanks are often a bit too light. They should you more should look for heavy armor, but we will see. So here's the Orca Swarmer. And the Orca Swarmer is going to the bottom. I think he's going for power plants. So the rush is now a rush by the PDI player. It's definitely not as devastating as the Harpies. Yeah, here we see the Corruptor. That's really good against infantry. So in case he wants to go MP Grenadier, that's going to be stopped quite early. It's already ranged Corruptor, so it has more range. What a surprise. I don't think he's out of power right now, but he might be soon. He needs to do something now, but the base is totally unprotected, so I guess he goes for the base, yeah. But he should also protect his own base, but now power is out. Nerf Center has no power, that's a big problem. And another big problem is none of these units can actually shoot air units. So he's now in this situation where he needs to defend the rush in his base and keep this shit going on the enemy's base. If he managed to defend the rush, he should have won this game. Because in the base of the screen player, the Orca Swarmer will wreak a lot of havoc. He brings the Swarmer to safety, so he's more like, yeah, I know. I'm sacrificing a few buildings, it's fine. I need to stop this rush at all costs. These guys here, in the meantime, take out another power plant, so now he's without any power plants. He got a tech center up. I think that was a grave mistake. He should have cancelled it and just get his power ready and back up, because now he has lost, I think. If he loses the nerf center, that's a big and painful hit. We see maybe he wants the tech center so he can get interlopers with anti-air. That might be the reason, so makes some sense. So here's the warp sphere being taken out. This army is already too big from GDI. He cannot stop this. I think Lordesfairgenug is winning at this point. He's already going for the MCV. Yeah. And there goes the GG. The tournament is over. Lordesfairgenug is the world champion. Karl M is the vice world champion. Congratulations to both. Insane strategies we have seen here. I think the patch of the game after the tournament totally makes sense after what we've seen here. This whole funny I sell my tech building after I got an upgrade and reactivate the early game build boost and don't miss out on the economic buildings like refineries and more war factories and so on. Is a nice shenanigans, but it's good it's being disabled now. Because it's so strong, it would become a default at all time. And that's actually not what the build order is meant to be. Because usually the idea is that we make a decision. And we find a balance and we decide, okay, one tech building is nice. But the second tech building on the build boost, it's not nice. Because I'm missing out on refineries. Or maybe it's nice because I get this crazy unit. But then I really need to do the rush, and the rush needs to cripple my opponent. But like we have seen it, it was just a no-brainer because you're not really missing out, only on a bit money from selling it. So that's, I think, the most important insight of the tournament. How these crazy strategies sometimes shape the build orders and how the games are being played. And I think it was a really great tournament. Many people participated and were inspired by the game. I think it was an absolute success. So I'm out.